Welcome back. Another Tuesday night shiur. Very glad to see all the new faces, all the old faces. This week I wanted to talk about a certain topic, but within the last 30 minutes I changed my mind. I wanted to talk about, since this week is talking about Yetziat Mitzrayim, Parshat Bo, are we really free? Are we not free? What is freedom? What is not freedom? Instead, we're going to talk about something more, maybe more emotional to everyone and more sensitive. I'm going to start with a story. Everyone likes stories. I'm going to start with a story. In the beginning of the year, there was a certain text going around of a certain story, and I don't know if you guys read it. There was a kid. He was not a kid anymore. His name was Shmuel. Did anyone read that text message of Shmuel?
Okay.
Perfect. There was a kid, his name was Shmuel. Now this Shmuel wasn't any ordinary kid. He's the kid, as we call, the ADHD to the power of a billion. It's funny that you're laughing. This kid, his nickname, they used to call him Spring. You know what a spring is? You know what's in your bed? It makes it comfortable. That's what they used to call him, because he had super ants in his pants. And he was in the 5th grade. And everyone knows, if you're a teacher or you're a parent, this kind of child, you got to give him all the running work. Get the coffee, clean the board, clean the floor, it keeps him occupied. In one hand, he's not disturbing the class. In another hand, he's doing what he needs to do, meaning he's more active. This Shmuel had a nice Rebbe, a beautiful Rebbe, a good Rebbe, that loved him, that gave him everything that he wanted. Middle of the year, this Rebbe got very sick. Got sick. The principal comes in one day and he says, your Rebbe got sick, we're going to pray to him for him, and he's not going to be here for a little while. He needed a certain surgery. Now, okay. What do you think when you're in 5th grade? It's not the end of the world. New teacher, we're going to cause the next teacher hell. Comes the next day. Big rabbi, scary, looks like the Satan himself. Comes into the room right away. There are some teachers, when they walk in, they demand a certain kind of, not just respect, a certain kind of order. Kids can't be kids anymore. Kids need to be adults. That's the way they want in their classroom. Now, he called this rabbi in the story Rabbi Substitute. He didn't want to get to his name. He didn't want to embarrass him, so he called him Rabbi Substitute. Okay. 10 minutes into the class, right away, the Shmuli in trouble. 20 minutes later, again in trouble. And this has been going on every day for a week. Now this Rabbi Substitute can't handle him. He can't handle him. What does he do? He takes him to the principal office. He said, I can't. We need to have a meeting with his parents. They have a meeting with his parents. Okay, the meeting went well. Okay, I'll talk to my son. He'll become better. A month later, they had another meeting. Now this is being repetitive. This kid is off the walls. They had this meeting, and this is what happens in this meeting. He writes this in the text message. He said, my parents sat down and Rabbi Substitute sat down. Rabbi Substitute told my parents, your son has no hope. Forget him. He doesn't know how to use his brain. So the parents, like every normal parent, say, yes, you're right, but he has different good qualities in him. He's good with his hands. He's good helping people. So the Rebbe looks at the parent and says, what does he need to have good hands for? He's going to be a plumber if he only has good hands. He needs to have a good cup, not good hands. And those words stuck into Shmuel for the rest of his life. You know what it is to be 10 years old and to already feel that you're not wanted, that you're nobody, that you'll never be successful. You hear it now, what are you, 25, 26, 19? You already want to kill the person next to you. Imagine 10 years old and hearing this. As time went by, Rabbi Substitute left and his Rebbe came back. Now this Shmuel says, throughout his life, he got bar mitzvah, he got 14, 15, went to high school, but he said this specific story never left him. It was, it always hurt him. He got married, he went to kollel, okay, he went on with his life and he started to forget slowly the story. He moved to Eretz Yisrael, and he said, like a lot of yeshiva guys, besides learning all day, he needs to find something to occupy himself. And he said, I'm a very handy guy, I like to know all the haq, I like to know all the news, what am I going to do? I'm going to be part of the ambulance system. He gets into the ambulance system. Psst. What a great thing, no? And slowly he started working his way up. He was small and then suddenly until he became one of the high people. He was always the first one on the scene and the last one on the scene. He was always there. He never gave up. He comes home one day. He's around 28 years old now. He reached the age of 28, Berich. He comes home one day, suddenly he's very tired. He hears there was a call in a certain part of Eretz Yisrael that he knew no one's there. No one's there. It'll take him himself with his lights and sirens 20 minutes to get there. And ulai, maybe the man, maybe if the call is what it is, he's already anyways dead. There's no even point of even going. But he said, al tzad mitzvah, I'll go. I have a responsibility. I took this responsibility on myself to be a first responder. I have right now a chiyuv, an obligation to go help a Jew. Right away, first one on the call, I'm going, and he starts going. Now, none of you know how it feels because none of you are first responders. I'm a first responder. So the adrenaline that's going in your head is like a fever. You're not sure what's going to happen. You're not sure if you're going to walk into a person that's already half dead, and you're not sure if you're going to walk into a person that's the family's happy that he died. You're not sure. Right away he gets out of his car, he takes his bag, he's running up, he's shaking, every single case is like a new case. You guys don't know. Did anyone do CPR on someone that was half dead? So you guys don't know that feeling of being blanked out on the spot. You see a person on the floor or on the bed, you have to put him on the floor. He gets there, suddenly the wife is crying hysterical and not even thinking. Puts him on the ground. You can't do CPR on the bed. Put him on the ground. Ushul, 1, 2, 3, and he's going at it. Right away, Hatzalah comes, and they start to do it together. If you know, CPR is usually done with 2 people, not 1 person. One for the airway and one for the chest, for the pumps. And they're going. And they tried for an hour and a half. They said, the paramedic there tapped him in the back and said, they didn't say, but gave him that look like, there's no hope. There's no point of trying. Just stop already. We've been going at it for such a long time. He's not going to come back. But what did he say? I'm going to continue going. He did it again and again until he screamed. He said, stop! I feel a pulse. Right away, they couldn't believe it. They all ran. They checked him. He's right. There's a pulse. Now, 5 minutes, there is no oxygen in your body. You're brain dead. Or you start losing your body stops to function. The fingers stop working. The legs stop working. If you look at how Hashem created the body, I know we're not learning biology, but the way He created is that the oxygen should oxygenate the cells and deoxygenate. When it becomes deoxygenated, automatically your body stops to work. It goes on a shutdown mode. So the way Hashem created is that you need the air to flow all over your body. Okay, they put him, he's fine. They rush him to the hospital. No, that's it. You don't know anything about this guy. He's done. You don't know him, I don't know him, we're finished. The story's done. By his part, the story's done. He just helped save another Jew. 2 weeks later, or was it a month later, somewhere over there, someone comes on his door, knocks on his door, and says, "Are you Shmuel?" He said, "Yes." "I want to thank you." "Why? Who are you?" "You saved my father's life. We're making a Suda Hoda'ah, a thank you meal, and we want you to be part of it. If it wasn't for you, our father wouldn't be here today." He said, "Okay, why not?" He felt good. After you save a life, you guys don't know what it is. I know what it is. After so much time working on someone, I also know what it is. Someone dying right in your hands. I had both situations under my belt, and it's not a good feeling. But when someone's alive, you feel good. You want to see him. You want to see how he's doing. He was expecting to go into the house of a guy that can't walk anymore. He can't talk. He comes, big table, the whole mishpacha is there. He's going to the front of the table. He sees this old man. He goes, the old man is hugging him. And the old man started to cry. He said, "You saved my life." And Shmuel, he said, "I know that voice. I know that voice. That's Rabbi Substitute." He looked at him and he started crying. He cried. He couldn't stop crying. And no one understood what happened. He goes and he tells the son, "Please, I need 5 minutes alone with your father." "You're going to say no to someone that just saved your father's life?" "Sure, no problem." He goes alone to the room. And no one knows what happened in that room. But all they said is they heard people crying. People crying in there. They come out, both red eyes. They go to the front of the table. And Rabbi Substitute gets up and he says, "I want to tell you about this Shmuel that saved my life. About 20 years ago, I was his substitute. And I said, this boy has no hope. He's too stupid. Nothing goes in his brain. He has no hope. He's going to be a plumber. You have to use your cup," I said. But this Shmuel saved my life because he used his heart and not his cup. He said, "I'm going to continue going even though there is no hope. Scientifically, the guy is dead. Finished. You can say goodbye to that person." But he said no. He said no. He said he has a hope. And he went on his knees and he did the CPR and he did the compressions. And he saved my life. And Shmuel wrote this down in his text. And he said, that's the story of everyone's life. In life, in everyone's life, it doesn't make a difference who, how big, how small, how religious, how unreligious. You're going to have those people in your life that's going to put you down to the ground. They're going to make you feel, why am I alive today? I don't want to live anymore. Why should I live? Of the people that are around me, that love me, put me to the ground, why should I live? But those situations in your life are the situations that make you stronger. Your hardship makes you. It doesn't break you. When you have a hard time in life, you have to know you're going in the right way. Because if everything is always good, that means there is a problem. If there is rocky roads, that means you're doing something right. They want you to fight. In Shamayim, they want you to earn your keep. And that's why we came to this world. How many of us had teachers that bashed us, that made us feel like garbage? Parents. Every single day of our life we have this. Every day. But instead, what do we have to do? We have to go up with a flag and say, I don't care about what you say, because I know the truth. And exactly when you disprove them, that's the biggest kaif of your life. The biggest enjoyment you'll ever have was to disprove the person that always put you down. Because you did something that he was never able to do to you. That's the enjoyment of life. And we see this in this week's parasha. How a person has to live like this. We see in this week's parasha, towards the end of this week's parasha, the Jews were right before they left Egypt. Hashem said, eat a Korban Pesach. You have to make a Korban Pesach. What did Jews do? They got excited. They first of all Bukharin, they all like sheep. They all got excited. They killed the sheep. They put the blood. Until today, I do shchita. The people want me to put blood on them here, over there. I don't know where the skulats come from. They think we're still in Mitzrayim. The truth is, we are still in Mitzrayim. And we go there, and they do shchita, and they roast the animal. The Gemara says that exactly how they used to roast the animals, so delicious. They used to put it not in the goyim. You know, the goyim used to put it in a spit like this, but they used to put it in a pit. The Gemara says what fruits they used to put around it, and they used to, it was delicious. I'm just thinking about it, I'm drooling. I'm already thinking about Simcha's Palace. No, I'm just joking. I'm getting excited at the food over there. And suddenly, what does Hashem say? There's a halakha in Shulchan Aruch. When a man sits down to eat, he should unbuckle his belt and he should eat. He should eat peacefully. He should take off his shoes. Now, I never said he should take off his zipper. He should just undo it, that the food should go down straight. He shouldn't go and say, oh, I have a stomach ache. It's halakha. The halakha, God wants you to live with respect. What does Hashem say? When you eat afikoman, you have to have your stick in your hand, your luggage is in your back. Put your shoes on, keep your belts on, and eat the afikoman like that. This was before Makat Bechorot. Wait a second. Has to be everyone's question. Who acted fast and got punished 3 weeks ago? Who did things without rationalization and they got punished? Reuven. What did Reuven do? He acted fast. He saw that Rachel Imeinu passed away. He took the bed and he put it where? In Leah. Suddenly Hashem's telling us to act fast? What's going on over here? I'm going to tell you a story. There was a man that lived in Yerushalayim around 800 years ago. Now, I don't know if you know, to live in Yerushalayim back in the day, you were ani marud, you were considered a poor person. You lived mamash b'yisurim gdolim. You lived with a lot of pain, but you knew you lived in your land, in Eretz Yisrael. Now, the way it worked back in the day is, you left the wife and kids for 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 years. You went to a different country, you made parnasah, and you came home and you knew, that's it. I made my parnasah for the rest of my life. There was this man, and this man, before his father passed away, he said, I have one will. One and only one thing. Before you judge or you want to do something to someone, sleep overnight. Take a night rest, and the next day act upon it. Don't right away come and do stuff fast. A lot of boys over here, or girls, irrelevant. Oh, I'm not going to go out with a guy, his nose is a little bit catch. You never saw him, you never spoke to him, you never met him. What are you already judging? Oh, the girl is too tall. Okay, so what? What's the big deal? Someone's going to die? Right away, acting fast. Like little babies, everyone. This generation full of babies. Big babies. You just need to put a bottle in their mouth and rock them to sleep. That's all that's needed. Thank God we don't have to change their diapers. That would have been an even bigger problem. He said, you know what? That shouldn't be too hard. No problem. What's there to do? I'll sleep overnight if there's a problem. His father passes away. A month later, he said, listen, babe, honey, whatever it is, I'm going to Istanbul, I'm going to Turkey, I'm going to do business. Okay, she said. He left for 7 years. Tell your wife you're leaving for 1 week to a vacation, she'll chop off your head. The guy left for 7 years. You know what that is? You know what 7 years is? Tell my wife I want to go somewhere upstate for Shabbaton. That's it. She has the gun. Where are you going? Baruch Hashem, I'm just joking. My wife says shitfa. He woes for 7 years. Every month he sends her a nice gift. a necklace, a bracelet, a nice ring, yalom, zahav, margaliot, nice jewels, precious stones. He said, after 7 years, I did enough parnasa in my life. I'm Baruch Hashem sitting well. I'm going to go back to Eretz Yisrael. Back in the day, it was like a 3-month travel. It was not 12 hours. Oh, tachat. Oh, back. No, staying on a boat, getting seasick for close to half a year or 3-4 months, and you were stuck there like this, all day like this. That's what you got. He went home. He's going to his house. Suddenly, what does he hear? His wife is talking to an elderly man. Why? As the banot ba'olam. The question is on the woman, not on the men. Why? You're ready. What does the man think? Wow, who's that guy? She took my money. She took my gold. She took everything. Ana pa. He starts cursing her. Oh, Nesh, did they? She says all the curse books on the wall. He's ready to go in to take a gun. But what does he remember? My father said, sleep one night and act the next day. I already didn't see her for 7 years. Right? 7 years I didn't see her. One more day is not going to kill me. He goes to the closest inn. No, I'm sorry. He sleeps on the porch. He said, I want to still see who this guy is. I want to knock out, KO this guy in the head. Suddenly he wakes up. He knocks the door. He sees his wife cooking. Wow, I missed you. You came back. He's like, let me ask you. I came back. Who was that guy yesterday? Who was that guy? You left me a 16-year-old man, a kid. Right now, the boy is 20-something years old. You think I'm cheating on you? He's your son. You left me for 7 years. What did you expect? Him to stay 16 all your life? Wow. Imagine he would have act fast, come in with a bazooka. He would kill his son and his wife together. Kadisha, he would have to go back to Istanbul to get married. So, here's the question. How come Hashem told the Jews to eat the Korban Pesach fast? What was the pshat? Relax, Jews. Take it easy. Take off your clothes. Put your stick down. Paro's going to take you out anyways. When did they have to finish? Chatzot. Midnight at that time. Whatever it is in Pesach, 12:30. Right away, after Chatzot, they finish eating the afikoman. Makat Bechorot, all the firstborns died. It said in every house there was a cry. Every single house. Paro, you know the song Paro Yotze Bepijamas Bemsa Laila? When I was a kid, my dad used to make me sing that in Pesach. Paro comes out with his PJs and says, yo, get out of Egypt. Get out now. Take your stuff and Karochi, get out of here. Get out. Right away, what did Moshe say? Wait a second. Why are you kicking us out? Tomorrow we'll go. Jewish. Chanoz. Tomorrow we'll go. For already 10 makot you're crying. Let us out. Suddenly, don't worry. Tomorrow we'll go. And when did the Jews leave? They left in midday. Why? Because they said that there were some Egyptians that were waiting to kill the Jews. So Hashem told them, leave exactly midday when everyone's already awake. Let me see how the Goyim is going to fight you. Every Goy ran away. Oh, the Jews, Pajausta, get out. Out of Mitzrayim already. The Jews, they left. They left. Let me ask you a question. Why did Hashem then tell them to, pack back your stuff and get ready? We have to leave. When in the Torah was doing things fast a blessing? One person take a guess, a small guess? No, I said a Torah. Don't give me Baba Mises right now. A story in the Torah that happened, that Hashem made it happen. 1, 2, 3. Noah's Ark? What? Huh? Korah? No. Okay. Shh. Okay. No. Who said Rivka? When Eliezer. Shh. When Eliezer went to get Rivka, the whole process took less than a week. He went, a travel that would take him 13 days took him a day. קפיצת דרך. ויבוא אל העין. קפיצת הדרך one way. He right away met Rivka. He didn't say, oh, is she like this? Well, he asked for one thing. Does she have derech eretz? Does she have the midah of chesed? Is she someone that is willing to give? A woman that doesn't know how to give, Habibi, forget about your kids. They will be the most selfish people on the planet. He says she knows how to give. Chazak ve'ematz. Let's go. You're the right one. Right away, he gave her a bracelet, a nose ring, gave her different jewelries, and so on and so forth. Who does he meet? He meets her brother. The whole thing took within days. He met her brother. He took Rivka. He put her on the camel. And he said, Lavan, sayonara. I left. That night, that evening, he got to Eretz Yisrael, Eretz Canaan at that time. And she fell when she saw her husband. Imagine telling a woman. She fell when she saw her husband. Karochi, I'm not going to get into it. Imagine nowadays that women that go out with you, suddenly they fall out of falling love. I see. That'll never happen. Don't dream it. Rivkas don't exist anymore. Shh. What happened? Suddenly, Yitzchak Avinu sees Rivka. He brings her to the tent of his mother, because even Yitzchak was a mommy's boy. He brought him to the tent. He brought him to the tent of Sarah, and he wanted to see if she had the attributes of his mother. Rashi says, until a man is married, he relies on his mother for certain things, and once he gets married, he has to start relying on his wife. Of course, that's the truth. A man, a grown man, has to understand that mommy is mommy and wife is wife. You can't, that's the problem with these days, the boys. I hear too many exactlies. There's flaws in every way. We're not going to get there right now. But boys have to be boys and girls have to be girls. A man at the end has a responsibility to his family. He has to know that his wife is a certain thing that he has to cherish in his life. Of course, his mother's not any different. But let's forward this topic right now. And he goes, and right away he marries Rivka. That happened within a week. Now, if I would tell you to go out with a guy after one time marry him, what would you say? Rabbi, what are you, paranoid? You mental in the head? What are you, spazzing out? No, we don't say to do that, and trust me, I don't suggest anyone to do that. But why over there was it mutar? It was allowed, but by Reuven it was not allowed. I'm going to tell you a nice story. They should clear all the questions about shidduchim, why they should be done 1, 2, 3. There was a big rabbi one time, one Hasidic rabbi, and he wanted to get his daughter married. And he went to another person's for a shidduch, and he went to the person's house, and he wanted to do the shidduch. By the time he went to the other rabbi's house, already 80 people told him, "Oh, Rabbi, you know what that avlot is? You're gonna go in that house? Forget about it. Bar binan, it's gonna be. It's gonna be Gehenom and al pnei tehom. Your daughter's gonna go through hell." You know what he said? He said, "Chaval that it took this long." Because this is why people don't get married. By the time they let them go out, let them meet, let the boy and girl meet, let them talk. How are we already judging the whole avlot? Let them talk. And that's shidduchim usually. Usually when it gets somewhere serious, towards the end, the Satan has to find something to break it. Always, like, well, why don't you talk about it? Well, just talk about it. For 1 second, sit down and say, listen, Habibi, I like you, we're engaged, or so on and so, we're serious. I just came to my attention, I have a problem with you on A, B, C, and D. Or likewise, the guy should say to the girl, I'm sorry, I maybe A, B, C, and D, how can we fix it together? Together, key word in a relationship. Together, not you alone, and not me alone. There is no segregation in a marriage. Once you start segregating, forget the marriage. It's going down the drain. When you start thinking as a unity, now we have to do things together, me and you, ani ve'at, together, that's when the success will come. So let's go back to the answer. Now, before I'm going to tell you the answer, I have to say another story. This is the introduction to the answer why in Mitzrayim, Hashem said, listen, wrap up your stuff fast, we'll have to leave. In communist Russia, a lot of you will not be able to relate to this story. But, you know, this was my real shiur, was what right now what I wanted to talk about. I already started to plan this out yesterday. I wasn't supposed to say it today, but I'm gonna give you a little ta'ameh, some good taste of what I wanted to talk about yesterday. What was the different method between Hitler and Stalin? Does anyone know? It's very simple. Before you answer, their method was kimat the same thing, but one major drastic idea. He had his hand first, let him go, and then, you know?
Hitler tried to kill the Jews physically. Stalin tried to kill the Jews spiritually.
Yes and no, because Stalin killed, I don't want to say more than Hitler, but he killed much more people than Hitler did, that Hitler can imagine in a lifetime. You had an answer?
Yeah, I believe Hitler tried to get rid of the Jews, and Stalin, he tried to convert all the Jews.
No, he didn't convert, but you have a right answer. The way communism works, I know I don't like to talk, I know people, when it gets to history, everyone has something in their brain, shutdown mode. It's a shutdown mode, but I like history, I'm going to get a little bit into it. Stalin had a method, a very interesting method. What is communism? Communism means a strict regime, my way or the highway. Hitler didn't have that. He said, listen, you're German, kai fu, you do whatever you want. But if you're Jewish, you're going to die. You known to be Jewish, you're dead. You're going to concentration camp. There's no questions, but if, how, where, when. Men and women that were married for 30 years, that had kids together, the spouse told to the Nazi officers that I married a Jew. Please take him. Because Hitler made it so disgusting that you married a Jew, they're filthy, they're dirty. You know, before Hitler made the first peace treaty with Russia, he sent a spy to take a picture of Stalin's ears. Why? According to Hitler, Jews, people, their ears have a little thing sticking out. They have something sticking out. He wanted to first know, is Stalin Jewish or not? Before even dealing with him, I want to know if he's Jewish. That's how much he hated the Jews. Can you imagine how sick Hitler was? But you know what? Stalin was sicker. He used a method that until today America is using. And until today, the Jews are suffering. He said Mother Russia. What is Mother Russia? If you're Jewish, but you don't practice your Judaism, I'll let it go. But if you practice your Judaism, you're dead. KGB comes, you're stuck. You're either going to Siberia or you're going to die. Now, to be Jewish in Russia in the mid-19th time of World War II was very scary. But like usual, Jews are Jews. And wherever there's vodka and selyotka, there's Jewish people. And wherever there are Hasidim, there's always excitement. And a whole bunch of Lubavitcher Hasidim said, for already half a year we didn't gather together. They couldn't already. You know, a Hasid, a real Hasid, that can't learn their rabbi's teachings, for them it's like shoot me, like kill me. Like they feel a disconnection. A person that wants to feel connected, a person that wants to know what real life is, connect yourself to a rabbi. But someone that's down to earth, that's logical. Someone that's normal. Someone that can help them and guide them. So this Hasidim, they all gathered together. And how do we know this story? There was a guy that lived in Israel that made the Aliyah at the late 19s. He was not a Chassid, but he was a Russian Jew. And he told this story to a couple of Lubavitchers. He said, you guys will never understand this. But the Hasidim gathered together. There was 50 people in the room. And there were 20 to 30 Hasidim. They all took a shot glass. They poured themselves a l'chaim. They drank one. Then they started talking Divrei Torah, of what the rabbi teach them when he was still in Russia. And they took another shot and another shot. And each one finished already half a bottle and they started to cry. They started to cry. They're like, we miss our rabbi. We miss his teaching. We miss him. Where is he? And they started to cry and they started to drink more and they started to cry and all of their emotions started to come out. And one guy, one devoted chassid got up and he said, listen, I'm going to visit the rabbi now. And everyone laughed at him. To get a visa to go to America now, forget about it. How are you going to get a visa? The rabbi came to America already. How are you going to get a visa? He said, I don't care. He took his chair and he put it on the floor and he put 3 other ones. He said, whoever believes is going to go. He sat in the front of the chair and already 20 people also put their chair and they sat, and in their mind they were imagining that they were traveling to America to go visit their Rebbe. The guy said, I swear to you, within 2 months all of them got a visa and they all went. They all got a visa, and everyone that was sitting around and was laughing at them stayed in Russia until the end of the war. In life, you need to make that initial move. And that's why Hashem said, leave your buckles on, leave your stick in your hand. Because even though you know you're going to come out, you have to have bitachon. You need to have that initial faith. Not emunah. Bitachon. It's different. You need to have that faith that what Hashem is going to take me out. If it wasn't for that bitachon, we would still be in Mitzrayim. And that's why Hashem said, make sure everything is packed. Because even though you know you're going to leave tomorrow, we knew we were going to leave tomorrow. We could have ate bakaif. No. You have to show your initial move. Let's go, let's go. And that's the lesson of today. Your downfalls make you stronger. Your problems that you call a problem, quote unquote, is the thing that's going to make you tough in life. If you had someone that put you down all your life, the best way to get back at him is to prove him otherwise. And that's why when a Holocaust survivor doesn't keep Torah mitzvot, it's the worst pain. Why? Because he just proved Hitler right. If a Holocaust survivor keeps Torah mitzvot, you know what he told Hitler? You tried killing us, but you didn't succeed. And that's the lesson we have to learn. There's never giving up. Everyone has hardships. Both girls and boys, I understand. I was once your age and I'm not too far from your age. But I have a lot more experience in both marriage and in not marriage. I grew up in the field of Torah. I grew up at 2 o'clock in the morning, people knocking on my father's door, we need shalom bay. The man comes with a wife with holding her hair, coming to my house. Look, it was a young boy. I can never forget the scene. Come here. This is my disgusting wife. Throws her. That I grew up in this kind of house. Not my dad did it to my mom. But I seen it. I've lived it. So when they say, oh, you're young. I might be young in age. But Habibi, the experience, the things that I've seen, people that are 50, 60, 70 didn't see. Because I have shimush. The Gemara Masechet Chulin says, Gadol hashimush mihalimud. Greater is learning on hands than someone that knows all the books by heart. If you need an operation, God forbid, if someone needed an operation, you would want a guy that learned all the books and knows everything, or a guy that never learned the book but followed a doctor for 10 years. I think you would want a guy that followed a doctor for 10 years. Because trust me, he knows how to take the knife and how to cut and to take out the problem. But the guy that knows the book, I promise to you, he can know everything. He'll take the knife, he'll go, now what do I do? Okay, you get ready, you're going to see blood now. Yeah, fall down. Because that's life. And every single one of us have the ability to become like Moshe Rabbeinu. To his own personal level. Inside of you, you have a Moshe. You got to take it out. People put you down, you have to go weiter. Yes, thank you for putting me down. I have a student that says, anytime something happens, thank you, he always says. That's the attitude you need to have. Thank you, thank you, thank you. He doesn't understand when he says thank you, the person that puts him down feels like garbage. Because he knows he didn't do anything wrong at the end. He doesn't care, he's brushing me off. And that's the way we have to live. I wish you guys success to go weiter in life. Again, your downfalls is the thing that bring you up. Don't feel bad. The people that put you down, also for the girls, there are teachers that says, oh, you'll be a good for nothing. And the girls dropped snoot and they dropped Hart Mishpacha. The biggest thing you can do is walk in front of those teachers and say, this person did a certain greatness that you can never do. Remember, schools that have just a name, a quote-unquote a name, run away fast. You need schools that have a heart. And I'm not joking, I'm not telling you this to praise myself. I'm not doing it. You need a staff, you one day you're going to be father or mother, don't ever forget this. The more you show love and you show care to your kid, the more he will blossom. The more you just say, okay, I won't do the homework today. It's Ima, everything is Ima's job. Ima's job to cook, Ima's job to bring the money, Ima's job to do the laundry, Ima's job to be with the kids. Ima. So what are you for in this world? Even that you don't do. They bring more babki than you nowadays. Like that message you sent me, right? You understand? The babki, we live in the 21st century. We live in the 21st century. Women make more babki legally than men. They can do the same job. They can do the same job as you. They will legally make more money than you. I wish you all the best. Hope to see you next week.